I am so back. Um, the last month was particularly stressful. We had midterm season coming up at college. I made the decision to cease MMA training, and as of lately, after midterms, I've been really working hard on my mental health, on finding what works for me, my do's and don'ts, and here I am. I am so back. I'm happy to say that I am also back to boxing. I'm boxing again, and I'm gonna be getting back into sparring and stuff like that because I realized upon reflection that I am actually not done with combat sports. I truly love it. I truly love it. However, there are caveats. It's not to say that I'm gonna go and accumulate brain damage and start getting CTE. I'm gonna be really respectful with the sport, and I'm planning on sparring very meticulously. Um, I'm gonna be very purposeful when I work, and I'm not going to just put my brain on the line. Because although I love combat, I also love being able to remember things like my girlfriend's name. So I'm gonna have to stay on that. So some other general updates. I just want to share some books that I've accumulated that have been really awesome. So first of which, we're gonna be talking about this bad boy right here. I was reading this one this morning actually. Really, really profound in my opinion. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. So basically, the author was talking about, there may be undertones of what we want to be when we try to help other people. The author's example, his son was not performing well in school, and the author and his wife, in attempting to help the son, they basically like try to project their own insecurities of being bad parents. That's really why they were trying to help the son. It wasn't out of a place of, oh, like I'm gonna help him. I want him to actualize his own potential. For the author and his wife, it was more of like, if we have a bad son, that's a reflection on our parenting. We can't possibly have our child be a fuck up, and people really don't, you can't help people like that. They don't really feel it. So how do you help people? You have to really come from a place of trust. Okay, I trust that you will actualize your potential. I trust you. I know that you're going to do great things. Not because it's a reflection of me, not because I want to get friend of the year award, but because I trust you. You're a friend and I love you, and I know that you're going to be able to do these great things. That's something I've really that has really touched me, because recently there have been a lot of people who have leaned on me for help, and I get so caught up in helping them, giving them all the answers, when in reality I just have to trust them. I have to trust them to be able to um actualize their potential. Everyone has potential. You don't need to give people the answers. You just need to lovingly listen and show them that they can do whatever they put their mind to. So another book, interesting book, hold on, is Social Intelligence. This is going to be the last one that I'm going to talk about today. There are some other ones, but this book is really interesting. So the first chapter kind of goes over how, those little like subtle emotional cues, like you ever come home and like your mom is pissed off. She doesn't say it, but you just know. That's kind of like where this book is taking you in the first chapter. It kind of like breaks down how we detect these subtle social cues, and like how we're able to deduce them. It talks about the low road and the high road of like processing information. So essentially, the low road is the amygdala. The high road is the PFC, the prefrontal cortex, essentially. So within the low road, the amygdala is responsible for those quick reactions, quick thoughts, a quick feeling. So it's a more animalistic part of your brain. I grew up watching Hamza, the whole guy who said Adonis. And basically Hamza called that your lizard brain. So in your lizard brain, it's responsible for like quick reactions. These may not be accurate, but they're fast. So why do we have quick reactions? What's even the point? Say, for example, you walk into a shady neighborhood, you're going to quickly get that reaction of, okay, this place is kind of sketchy. Or, like, say, for example, somebody kind of shady walks into the room, you're going to quickly be like, okay, that guy looks kind of shady. Those reactions are important because sometimes you don't have time to sit around and be like, am I in danger? Back in the day when we were like chasing lions and shit with sticks, it wasn't like we couldn't just sit and ponder if we're in danger. You just have to feel it and act, and then worry about the consequences of your reaction later. And that's something that's really interesting because in the modern day, we're not necessarily in danger as much as when our amygdala was at its, when the amygdala was dominant. You know, now there's far less danger. Danger is more sophisticated, it's more social, it's more like low key. So it leaves us prone to reacting to things quickly as we do due to our amygdala, due to the low road. It leads to us reacting. And then later on, upon reflection, we're like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have told her that. Or, or like, dang, maybe I shouldn't have ate 500 cookies. Even me, like, I have moments where, like, out of fear that I'm not gonna have dinner due to the timing of my day, I'll overeat. And then later on, I'm like, damn, should not have done that. Because your low road kind of like pushes you, and then you worry about the consequences later. Now, the high road, as I have alluded to, is a little different. The high road is more like, your rationality, your ability to like reflect and think and consider other people. Your high road is slower, yet it's more thorough, it's more accurate, and it's more representative of who, not who you are, because you're also your low road, but like who you want to come across as. You know, this conversation that I'm having with this laptop right now is a high road activity. I'm consciously thinking about it. But when I, say for example, in a sexual encounter, that's a low road activity. A sexual encounter is an example of like your emotions kind of just like grab hold and you just kind of like go with that feeling. You're not sitting there like philosophizing like what this means, what does that mean? Another low road activity that applies to me, for me, is fighting. Fighting is a very primal thing. You're not always sitting there pondering, like, yeah, you're thinking, like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. But engaging in the fight is a low road activity in the sense of, like, you're kind of just, like, sensing the danger, feeling things, and just feeling. You're just feeling. It's like an emotion, too. Like when somebody gets you mad and you just feel a quick thing of anger. I've kind of trained myself to like recognize those quick flashes of emotion and then kind of like analyze them quickly. That's something that I've been particularly good at. So the author then goes on to say that there's an emotional economy that exists within socialization, and we also feed each other emotions. If you pick up the undertones that your mom or your girlfriend or something is upset, you're going to feel something. Not everybody's going to feel as intensely, but something's going to be there. You're going to be like, oh, I think she's upset. I wonder what's going on, or maybe I did something. So then you're going to start to explore that. And that's another thing, like people always say, misery loves company, this, that. But our low road has programmed us to pay attention to these minute social cues and to adapt. Because in some instances, these little social cues can lead to danger. An extreme example is like an abusive household. Say, for example, there's a father who's abusive. If he's giving undertones that he's upset, you have to be highly aware and you got to be like, holy shit, he's about to beat the hell out of me, isn't he? That's something that the low road enables us to do. So, in individuals who come from abusive places, maybe alcoholism, or just places where people are hard to read, they may have that heightened sense of like feeling. Maybe you have a romantic partner who their father was prone to alcoholism, and now when they look at you, they're really perceptive of your microtones. If you switch up even just a tiny bit, if you get maybe a little angry, but you don't say it, but you kind of feel a little more distant, they're gonna pick that shit up quickly because they've been programmed to analyze these situations. So those are just two books that I've been diving into, and I just want to share. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm back. I'm back, and I'm feeling like myself again, and I'm really happy that I'm able to make this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.